This is Rhea, and this is Just the Who of Us, where we talk about a range of topics including life events, current events, spirituality, entertainment, family relationships, as well as answering listener questions and more.
So for me, so this is another topic I wanted to touch on briefly, and this is going to piss some people off too, but you love me or you hate me, it's like whatever. This is my opinion.
I hate you, bitch.
When there have been people in my life that have died, and while they weren't like hateful, vengeful, mean people, there were things that they did that, if we're really digging deep, were not godly. And they had their demons, is what I've been told. They had these things. They were really a good person. I didn't so much experience that side of them, but I hear you. They had some good traits, I guess. But just naturally, oh, they're at heaven, they're at heaven, they're at heaven. And I'm like, so what's the point of all of this if I can just go be a not great person, but say, Jesus, forgive me, and go to heaven? Like, I don't understand that at all. And it's
Oh, I
one
can
thing,
help you understand that.
please, because I don't get it. But the reason that I put that RIH is because I don't believe he'd go to heaven
Mhm.
unless it's that simple. I can treat people like shit and say, Father, forgive me, and I'm admitted into heaven. If that's the case, then maybe he did. I guess he did. But I
Yeah.
just did at that point, it's like,
This
well, what's the point of the rules and the being a good person if that's all I have to do? It doesn't make sense to me.
so anyhow, to answer your question that you
Yes.
asked about like if anybody can just believe and just go to heaven or whatever, that that you could be a horrible you can do horrible stuff and then still
Yeah.
go to heaven, whatever. Okay. You can't just do horrible stuff and go to heaven. That's not
Yeah.
how it works. How it works is your heart and what your mind. Your heart is what God is looking for. That's
Yeah.
what he's looking for most of all. And sometimes good people do bad shit. That's like a course of life, basically. Yeah, even good people can do terrible shit. Now, people who do terrible shit over and over and over again, do you really think their heart is in a good place?
You said people who do horrible shit, you think their heart is in the right place?
Yeah, over and over again. I'm not saying the one-time thing. I'm not saying, oh, you made a mistake and it was a horrible mistake and you have a good heart, though. There's been stuff that I've done, but I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Like, I've made my mistakes. God knows my heart. And honestly, my heart is as good as I tried to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I try to do good things. I try to give people money if I can. I try to be there for people. I try to be honest. I'm loyal. Like, I mean, I try all these stuff. Sometimes I'm gonna fall. But if you're going around spreading hate and you are doing all this stuff, do you really think his heart is pure and was done with good intentions?
Well, that's my point. Like,
So the thing about it is I don't have the right to judge where he's going to heaven or hell. I can't judge that because I'm not God. I would be playing God if I did.
true.
But by
Yeah.
the information that I have been provided within the Bible, I could see how he could potentially end up in hell. You get what I mean? Because people be like, oh, well, he's probably going to heaven because he said he loves God and all this stuff. It's more to it than that.
That's my point.
So
Yeah.
there's the guy on the cross did two things. The guy who was next to Jesus on the cross did two things. He confessed with his tongue that Jesus Christ is Lord and that he is whatever. Like he's Jesus Christ the Lord. I believe you are the Son of God. What he also did was he repented for his sins. He says, I am so sorry for what I have done. Or I don't know the exact quoting of it, but
Yeah.
he did two out of three things you need to, or well, that help you get into heaven. And or that's what at least states in the Bible.
Yeah.
So, but even doing just the two things, the guy on the cross got into heaven with Jesus. Jesus says, "You will be in paradise with me today," or "You will
Yeah.
be in paradise today." And so it's more to just being like, oh, please forgive me, and then go do the same things over and over again. You think spreading hate is something that, spreading hate is something that Jesus wants from a person
Yeah.
from who follows him or claims to follow him or whatever.
Yeah.
So I highly doubt that he is gonna be in heaven, but also I don't know. I don't know the man well enough.
Right.
I don't know
Right.
his heart. But from what I have seen, from what I have witnessed, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up down there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think there's two parts. So I think one of the things that like pissing people off is how they interpreted what I said because uh their interpretation of the RIH was rightfully rest in hell. And I think people believe that because he was quote unquote a man of Christ, that's a horrible thing to say about him. I have people also say that I wouldn't wish hell on even the worst person, and I
Yeah,
would.
but who? But
I
see,
would.
the thing about it is, but in your thing that you posted, you weren't really wishing it. You just said rest in peace in hell. That's all
That's
you said. You didn't say you wish he was. You
exactly.
you kind of
I
just pinned
never
it the
said
fact that he is in hell, basically is what you did.
I
But
never said that I support him being murdered.
hmm
I never said that I'm condemning you to hell, you're going to hell. That's not a call for me to make.
hmm
Um, on another, kind of flip side of this, another point that people somehow miss. Now, mind you, when I say people, it's only like 4 people that commented. Okay. So it's not like hundreds of people are pissed off, but an uproar is these 4 little people. And one of them I know very closely. 2 of them I know very closely. One I don't talk to on a regular basis. And I even mentioned that disrespectfully, we don't talk. So I'm not sure, we don't talk. So I'm going to end this conversation.
right.
So I'm not sure really why they were there outside of just to make themselves heard or read or seen or
Right.
whatever.
hmm
Um, but so 2 of them I know very closely.
hmm
Uh, 3 of them I know very closely. 2 of them I know like by association.
Right.
Um, and the that 2 of them that extremely misinterpreted what I said are just kind of like associates. And
hmm
so I don't really expect them as much to understand.
So
Now,
are any of them saying that he's in heaven?
yeah,
Okay, well then it's easy for them to be just being well, you're being a hypocrite right now because why
exactly.
are
Yeah.
you assuming that he's in heaven? That's more okay than me assuming he's in hell. Like
It
why
is
is
okay because they're making a positive assumption and I'm being negative. Is probably the
right, but
perspective that
there's still hypocrisy to it because I mean technically both things are neutral until you get meaning behind it. Everything within this world is neutral technically if you want to get technical. It's the meaning you put behind it.
yeah.
So, like, I mean, for all we know, God, please forgive me for a second here, but for all we know, heaven could be the hell and then the hell could be that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, but it's the association which we put it or what we were taught, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Forgive me for that, Lord. But anywho, like,
Well, but it all is open to interpretation, and
right,
for the most part,
right.
there are things that are accounts of people's personal experiences and conversations, but for the most part, it's open
And
to
also,
interpretation.
you're not condemning him to hell. You're just saying he is in hell. You're saying that that's what, and the thing about it, you
I
don't
just
know
said, yeah, I
100%.
mean, that's
You
just
don't
my
know
belief.
100%. And the people who say that he's in heaven, they're making an assumption, you know? As long as you're not condemning the person going to hell, that's the big difference right there. Because then you are playing
Yeah.
God. You are saying, hey, I have the right to choose whether you're going to hell or not. Like I have, or you're going to hell or whatever, because you're stating it more as a fact,
Hmm.
right? So,
No, it's not even a fact. It's a
right,
social media post for one.
right.
I don't know where the man is, but that's
But
also a difference
honestly,
in our belief.
in your heart of hearts, do you actually care where the fuck he is?
It doesn't affect my life.
Yeah.
So if he was in heaven, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Mhm.
Like, good
Exactly.
for him.
Like, exactly. Like, I mean, that's one thing I think a lot of people like forget to get out of their heads or whatever, is that if a woman came up to me and says, I'm going to hell because I like women, do I really give a shit what this woman actually really thinks? Is she the
No,
one
because your
making my
relationship is not
decision?
with that woman. Your spiritual
Exactly.
relationship was not with that woman. Yeah.
Yes. She showed me a meme of it says debate lost.
Oh,
That was funny. Anyhow, but that's one thing I was trying to like say was like like it doesn't matter if I die and someone says rest in hell. Okay, so who gives a shit? I don't. I'm up there or down there. It's not gonna affect me what you say.
yeah,
And the people on this earth, there's gonna be people that probably will try to tarnish my life, or there's people that are gonna be praising my life. You know what I mean? There's gonna be people that say I went to heaven. There's gonna be people that say I went to hell.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
like like at the end of the day, I guess what I would say to the people who are commenting on your post. Does this affect your life on such a grandiosity that you feel like you have to have an argument or whatever over it? And
Yeah.
doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm sorry. Like, that's my thing. Like, does this matter? Like, is this really worth getting upset about right now of a person you knew wasn't a great person? At least the way he presented himself wasn't a great person.
Yeah.
Why do you care this much about it? Like, do you care if I say that if I say anything about the school shootings that happened, Are you going to care about that? Or are you more caring about this situation because it is a white male who got shot instead of the kids who are being shot? So it's just the hypocrisy of the
Yeah.
whole thing because you're getting angry about this one post, but what about the one about the school shootings? What about all this? Get angry at that because those people are still alive. Those kids are alive. All these kids around these schools are alive. One man gone. I'm sorry. Like, I do have empathy and I have a lot more things to worry about in this world than one man who got shot.
So, like the fact that, as a mother, and you could probably relate this to even like your friends,
Mhm,
I already get stressed out every time my kids leave the house.
mhm,
Like, so many, like, part of the issue here is that, like, where's the uproar for the woman who was just sitting on a train, got
mhm,
stabbed while everyone was so clueless
mhm,
that the man's walking off, leaving a trail of her blood? She doesn't even realize the extent of what happened. Everyone
mhm,
around her is just kind of like getting off the train. Where's the uproar for this woman? Where's the uproar for the fact that this man has multiple, over
mhm,
10, I'm not sure if it's 13 or 14, but over 10 charges, and is still walking the streets, able to kill someone on a train for absolutely existing?
mhm,
Where's the uproar in this? Where's the knife laws? Where's the, like, being pissed off about people being able to go around
mhm.
stab people? Like, where is
Right.
that?
Right,
That's more of an
exactly.
issue.
Like,
Where's the anger behind that?
mhm.
Where's the anger about gun laws and gun restrictions when it comes to fucking school shootings? Where's that anger? Where's
Exactly.
the name of religion then? Where is that? That
It's
is
just
part of the problem.
mind-boggling to me because I mean, most likely this shooting that happened is a one-time thing, whereas all these other ones most likely
But
aren't.
it's a problem. And, we've spent a lot of time talking about this, but it's a problem. And I felt like it needed to be
Mm,
addressed. And, like, you don't have to agree. You can disagree. That's fine. Um, but, this is our platform where we come and we share our opinions and we debate and we discuss, and that's where we chose to share this. And I
mhm.
think it's a valid discussion. you know, so
Mhm.
and you know, really you can argue that religion, race, gender doesn't make a difference, but
Oh, it all plays a
the
role in everything.
well, she was probably evil. He was stabbing her demon, like whatever, you know.
Hmm.
But it, you know, unfortunately, and people hate to have things called out when they share features,
Hmm.
you know. So like white America hates for white men to be called
Yeah,
out.
it's insane to me the hypocrisy within this world just because of your gender or your skin color or anything, and that whether America government wants to admit it or not, which the president has probably admitted it at least once or twice, is that skin color tells you your worth in money and your worth in this life, you know?
Yeah,
And I don't,
your
and
your
that,
your economic status and your race
mhm.
determine a lot of
Right, it
your abilities and
determines,
your
like,
access.
I mean, wasn't there like a study done in the fact that, in the fact of like, when police officers get to your house, if you're black or if you're white, the timing of it, you know what I mean? Or the area it is, and all this type of
100%.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, the thing about it is, like, that shit needs to stop. That's insane because, I mean, like, your area where you live, your race, your sex, your orientation should not matter of the treatment that you get from this world. Like, I mean, or from other people or from the government, whatever it is.
Yeah. You know, and speaking on things in terms of like homelessness,
Hmm.
drug abuse, the real issue here is the mental health crisis.
Hmm.
You know, as I said in another post that I made, not no one person can change this. The issue isn't guns, it's not knives, it's not,
Hmm.
you know, homelessness even. The issue is mental health. These
Hmm.
things, it's damn near fucking impossible
Hmm.
for the common person to
Yeah.
afford life. And that's not having any drug habits, not having
Right.
any alcohol dependencies, not having any addictions, like
Yeah.
just to get by and take care of the things
Hmm.
that 10 years ago would have been much easier. It's fucking difficult for the average
Right.
person. And
Right.
that leads to depression. It can lead
Hmm.
to addiction. It can lead
Hmm.
to all these things. And
Right.
people have this misconception that people in poverty and people who are homeless are there because of addictions and because of vices and whatever. And that's so generally opposite.
Hmm.
People become so weighed down by just trying to live life.
Right.
And then you take into account traumas that people have endured. Like, it's so difficult to
Hmm.
just get by a lot of times that
Hmm.
that depression and that pressure and that mental health contributes to things like poverty and
Right.
homelessness. It's not typically the fact that people just want to be lazy or
Hmm.
don't want to contribute or what the hell ever. Like,
Right.
shit's difficult. And
Hmm.
mental health is a huge crisis. And until we figure out a way to address that, we're not going to attack these other issues that
Right.
stem from it. How can we do that? We can start by not treating people poorly because they're different than us.
Right.
And, you know, I know there's people who will say, oh, well, somebody made a comment like, oh, well, you can't say that just because he hurt your feelings. Honey, he didn't hurt my feelings.
Hmm.
I am generally not classified as someone that he talks down to.
Hmm.
But just because he doesn't insult me doesn't mean I don't care about the people that he does insult.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't have to always be about us. It's
Hmm.
about treating other people, not treating other people poorly because they disagree because they're different. So,
Hmm.
how can we start to help the world out of this crisis? Is
Hmm.
start for one, by how we treat people, and it goes to not treating people differently because they are poorer
Hmm.
or a different race or whatever the case may be than ourselves. And that is
Hmm.
something that this man does not display.
Right.
He is known for arguing with people in the name of Jesus
Hmm.
that aren't straight, uh, out of poverty,
Yeah.
white, and you can call it what you want to, but the reality is he's made comments about people of other races.
Hmm.
Um, so it's yeah, but how can we change that? Not one person can change the mental health crisis. We can change it collectively by how what we put out into the world, and that
Hmm.
is definitely not hate. So that's just my thought on that.
No, I agree. I just believe that people, I don't know. I just get tired of all the fighting and all the debating and all the everything within this world. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I just wish that people can just live their lives and just leave everybody alone. Why can't everybody just leave everybody alone? Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like,
Like people also don't consider the way they speak to people, the things they say to people, it
hmm.
affects them
Hmm.
when you're talked down to constantly. And I don't mean just by this one person, but when
Yeah,
society commonly treats you badly, it affects how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the
definitely.
world.
I
I go ahead.
It did, yeah, that scared me.
No, I was gonna say, like growing up with so much ableism around me, like that really changed how you view about yourself and
Yeah, but
everything
you
like
don't treat
that.
people like shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't treat everybody like shit. You're right about that. And it's funny because I'm probably one of those people that could have become a villain and had every valid reason to become a villain, you know, to be a
Yeah,
monster, to treat everybody like crap and be basically like, hey, this should happen to me, so therefore I can treat you this way.
yeah,
I probably have the valid. I don't really believe any history of trauma or whatever you have is valid to treat people like shit. But I guess
right.
you could say the amount of trauma. Yes, I probably have it, right?
Yeah,
Anywho, the thing about it is, if I cannot treat people like shit, then other people shouldn't treat people like shit either. Like, I mean, like, and the amount of times I've knocked down people's egos when they did that to me with my story, not necessarily my whole story or like emotional aspects to it, but there have been times when people are like, "Well, this is why I'm acting this way," and I'm like, "Well, this." I tell them a little bit of myself and like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry," and they will backtrack real quick, and I'm like, "Just because you've gone through something,
yeah,
not give you the right to treat other people this way. And I'm not giving you that right." And he's like, not he, but he was like, before I told him myself, he's like, you don't know what I went through. You can't say, and I tell him something that was what he went through. Oh, how quickly he like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you know, and I'm like,
Here's the
because
thing.
I don't use it to against other people. I don't use it to have an excuse. No, I don't think my stuff is better or worse than his or whatever. But I mean, on an objective sense, it kind of the amount is probably yes.
like
But
I know what you're saying. Like you have experienced things that could make someone treat people a certain way, but you don't, and you choose not to do that just because you could create an excuse out of your experience to do so.
exactly,
Yeah.
basically. And I don't think people who do use their stuff as an excuse should have that green pass. You know what I mean? And it's like if someone has autism and then they go into the woman's bathroom and see all these women naked and they're gonna, I mean, I'm not saying the person with autism really has any mind function of what they did if they have severe autism, but
Mhm.
you still correct it. You still be like, hey,
Yeah.
this is the wrong bathroom. You need
Yeah.
to go over here. And it's still not an excuse, but people have a little bit more allowances for it because of that. But they're still correcting that person. Whereas a lot of things I've seen in society today where people just let that be the excuse. Like they don't even correct the person. They're like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so. And so I don't think that religion, your history, trauma, whatever, should give you any right to be rude, mean, or to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now are there aspects in which you can have a little bit more understanding and like grace for? Yes.
Yeah.
And don't be a dick. That's it.
Yeah. I love that. That's perfect. That's like the most sensible phrase. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. I literally, I've told my kids before, I don't give a shit if you curse. Just don't abuse your body. Don't be a dick. Like,
Exactly. Just it's the most simplest thing that everybody could just say. Just don't be a dick. That's it.
yeah, like,
I mean, it's really
don't
not
abuse
that.
your body and don't be a dick.
I mean, you would think maybe that should be the title of the episode. Don't be a dick. Like, I mean, like it's just
There
like
you go. Title
um,
done.
exactly because it's just like being a dick is only gonna get you hated and all this type of shit, and then like the whole thing's about, or maybe even shot. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not
Yeah.
right. And being a dick can have that be a possible, what's it,
Consequence.
possible, yes,
Yeah.
possible consequence.
Not to say unwad your panties. Not to say being a dick should get you shot. It's not what we're saying. But
That's not what I'm saying. Exactly. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
we're
just
just
saying.
saying that our actions do have consequences. And,
Mhm,
and even taking accountability myself, me posting certain things has natural consequences of people not agreeing. Cool. You know, and I didn't make this bonus episode to like, I don't know, like retaliate against, but I felt it was a good opportunity to display effective communication and to display the ability to debate and share different perspectives and
mhm.
things like that. Um, so yeah, we don't support murder. We just we retrospectively do.
Unless if you want to murder the demons in my mind, I'm good with that. But like, I don't condone any other type.
we don't we don't condone physical outside of the body murder.
Also, we condone suicide.
That's what I'm saying. I, okay, goodbye. We're done. I'm just kidding.
I hear. I'm just like, okay, so we can
No, not giving you the green light. Calm down.
damn it. Damn it.
No, but um, yeah, we just be mindful of how you treat people. No one deserves to be murdered because they have a different opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but be mindful of how you treat people and how, your words and actions can have consequences also. Um, the whole rest in hell comment, I don't have the same perspective as a lot of people do um when it comes to hell. My kids we went through this house
Mm-hmm.
when they were little, and it was like different rooms showed like different scenarios, and one was like a hell room. Scared the shit out of Jada. Jada was like, I tried to be perfect from that point on until I got older and I learned a little bit more and I understood a little bit more, but it literally like scared her straight for a while.
Mm-hmm.
um and then she learned a little bit more, she started understanding a little bit more, and she started being a good person because she wanted to be a good person and not because she was
Right.
scared. And there's certain things that I'm still figuring out on what I
Mm-hmm.
believe, but I don't believe in scaring children with the fire and brimstone
Mm-hmm.
threats. Like, it's
I
one
didn't need
thing.
that story.
Yeah, it's one thing that I admire about atheists because they have a moral code that's not led by fear. And it's nice to have, and that's how I try to operate now.
Right.
My personal relationship with God is my personal relationship with God, religion aside. I do go to church from time to time because
Mhm.
I enjoy what I learn at
Right.
this particular place that I go. I'm also very particular. I'm particular with what My children learn what church they go to,
Right.
their atmosphere, their religious atmosphere, so I'm not anti-Christianity, but my
Right.
my views on what hell would and wouldn't be have changed, and
Right.
that's
Mhm.
not led. I just want to be a good person,
Right.
like we've talked before about a healthy fear in regards to like God our Father. Like we
Mhm.
want to have a healthy fear, a fear of disappointment, rather,
But
right?
also
Not a fear that you're
the,
going to
the
burn me
the
alive.
way the world has turned the word fear used in the Bible is
Yeah,
not how it's meant in the beginning. Like
yeah,
fear is not like, oh, he's gonna smite me in any second. No. It's fear
yeah.
of, not having him. It's the fear of not having his trust. It's the fear of not having his love. It's
Hmm.
a fear of that. But God is not gonna just be like, oh, she doesn't no longer believe. Smite. Like, no.
Yeah, like,
It's not that type of fear. It's not fear of your safety. It's not fear of whatever.
right.
This that Christianity, I know not in today's world, but Christianity is not a religion based off fear. That's the opposite of what God wants.
Mm,
It's
depends on depends on who you ask.
well,
But
it's
at
not
the
supposed
core,
to
in
be, is what I'm trying to
actuality,
say.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Obviously, I'm not saying I already said the people in today's world already view it differently, but it's not supposed to. It's not a religion of fear. It's not That's not how it was made. It's not how God is. God is not something to be afraid of. I mean, it's good to have the knowledge that he could just destroy us all in a heartbeat. It's all this type of stuff. That's good to have that knowledge, but we also know the type of God he is. He's not gonna just be like, oh, okay, whatever, this and that, whatever. Just it's hard to
yeah.
explain.
No, I understand, but I also acknowledge the fact that what goes on in the world is also affected
Mhm,
by people other than me.
mhm,
Um, and I don't have the weight of every little thing I do
mhm.
is gonna ruin everything for everyone because I'm imperfect. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Um,
And I mean, that's the thing. Like, even in the Bible, God even says, I make you clean. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? And so it just frustrates me when people are like, you're impure, you're dirty, or whatever. Yes, we all are. But through Christ, we are clean. I mean, and so that's just like why it pisses me off because like everything, it's like I'm a sinner. So are you. So is
yeah,
everybody on this planet. And my sin does not mean your sin is better or okay to do more or whatever, because in the eyes of God, they're all the same. And I
yeah.
understand in our world, there is a hierarchy of those sins. Like killing is probably a little bit more serious than lying, obviously. To us, though, in human
To
eyes.
us,
Yes,
to
in
us,
human eyes.
but
But to God, they are all equal
right.
and
So sin
should
is a
be
sin. Yeah,
taken in the same heat. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And so that's why it's just like stop condemning people. Stop saying you're a better Christian, you're a better believer or whatever. No, you're not. You're just as good as probably I am, or maybe not. But it's not
yeah,
your place to say that. It's not my place to say that. It
yeah.
is only God's place to say that. God is the only one who can judge. Now, the only time with has been said somewhere in the Bible, I don't remember where right now. It's escaping me. Where like it's okay to help lead your friends or family or whatever to help lead towards Christ and to help them like that one verse, iron sharpens iron. Like it, if you can sharpen each other and help each other to become the way God wants you to be, then yes, then call each other out on your shit or whatever. But don't
Hmm.
just do it just to be an asshole or to be a dick or just to have some form of control over people. Because sometimes it is
Absolutely.
just purely the feeling of controlling somebody. Be like, hey, the God says this, but I'm not saying it because God says it, but it's giving me some form of power because I get to say it.
Right, right.
Like
Yeah,
it's like when you have a sibling tell you to do something that the parent told you to do and they're being a dick about it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
that type of feeling. So
Yeah.
like you don't want to listen to your sibling. You don't want like
I
why
don't
would
know. I'm the older sibling, so I don't know. But I know
did
like
your
within
younger
my own
sibling listen to you?
kid. Yeah, but that's because I was 7 years
Okay,
older and
never
I didn't
mind. You
live
don't count. You don't count.
and I didn't live in the same house. So like we didn't see each other a ton
Mhm.
retrospectively.
Mhm.
I saw her like every other weekend kind of thing at one point. So, when I was there, it was like, oh, my big sister.
Mhm.
So that's a
Yeah.
little bit different. But I know
Well,
within my own kids,
like if
um,
DeAndre went to go tell or I guess I shouldn't use names, I'm sorry. If your oldest
he's been
son
on here before. It's fine.
well, I mean, if your oldest son goes to your second oldest daughter or your oldest daughter or whatever, and he tells her, "Hey, mom said to do this," you think she's like gonna be like more willing to submit to what he says? Like, you get what I mean, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like because it's okay. Well, mom said to do it instead of I'm saying to do it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's when you kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Damn it. Like, it's if I'm sitting here doing something, my sister says, "Hey, mom wants you to go fold the laundry," and I'll be like, "I don't really want to do that." And she's like, "Well, mom says so." Like, it gets an attitude or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't want to deal with it. Like, you're just like, "But mom said, I don't care what mom said. I want her to come tell me, not you." Like,
I get what you're
it's like
saying. Okay.
it's like the hierarchy type of thing. Like, I'm not listening to you. You and
Yeah.
I are equals. Don't treat me like I am not
Ah,
equal to you.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
it's like
makes sense. Yeah.
so I don't want to hear some old lady telling me that I'm a sinner and whatever. Lady, in the eyes of God, you and I are equal.
For
Like,
real.
don't come over here telling me that you think you know better than me just because you think you're older than me. You have wisdom that I probably don't have,
Yeah.
and in the eyes of God, we are equal, so don't treat me like we are not.
Well, and also, like, how are you delivering it? Just because you believe something I don't believe, it may be true to you, but how are you delivering that to me? Are you delivering that to me out of hate, out of spite,
Right?
out of needing to be right, out
Or
of,
being a bigot or what or
or
like
are
are
you
you doing
delivering this to me because you genuinely care about my well-being? I know
exactly?
someone, probably the most flawless person that I've ever met,
Mm-hmm.
and that's genuinely about them. Um, and we don't share the exact same beliefs, very similar, but and I know that anything they do, say, or think is not out of anger or hatred. You can come tell me anything, even if I don't believe, and I know that it's going to be out of your best interest for me.
Right.
On the other hand, I know people who literally will come and judge you and tell you about yourself in a very condescending
Right,
or
exactly.
better than you way.
Right, like you just said, if I said it to you, hey, I'm just trying to look out for you. I'm just trying to be like, hey,
Absolutely.
this
Okay,
is
I
something
said one person, two people, not just one person, but
well,
yes,
I mean,
one other
yes,
person.
yeah, well, you get what I'm saying, but I
Yeah,
have no reason to like not have your best interest in heart, if that makes
yeah,
sense. I have
yeah.
no reason to dislike. I have no
And
nothing.
even if I was a stranger, I don't feel like it would be much
No,
different.
no,
Like,
I don't basically if you don't give me a reason to hate you, but I really don't have hate in my heart either. I would
right.
just walk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't have a chance to try to manipulate or this or that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay, so Natia had to go, but I'm just going to close and say that I hope you listened to the whole episode, because we talked about a lot and we appreciate you letting us or listening to us share our perspective. And we hope that you did so with an open mind. Thank you for being here and see you next time. Check us out on YouTube at Rhea Higgs, ReaHagues. You can also keep up with us on Instagram at Just the Who Podcast.